The city of Norwich is bracing itself for a Russian invasion.
I know that what I'm building appeals to me so much that it will appeal to people who are like me, so I know they will come.
This is the story of one Russian woman's dream to create the ultimate English hotel.
It's my unborn child, and I think I've been carrying it for the last 4.5 years.
She has never done anything like this before, but she knows what she likes.
Don't tell me what I can put or what I cannot put. I can put whatever I want. It's my vision, it's my restaurant, it's my hotel.
But has she taken on more than she bargained for?
I have to present to the world that we can do it. Failure is not an option.
Nine months late and several £1 million over budget, Lana and Carleton finally got the first part of their dream hotel open. But with no time to rehearse, the first service of Dimitri's Bistro did not go according to plan.
Service! Come on! Okay. Service! Come on!
Just the bar and the restaurant's up and running now.
Hello there, would you like to leave for the new hotel and
But
restaurant?
after the shaky start, the floodgates opened
Tell your parents.
as Lana put the word on the street that her five-star bistro was offering expensive food at half price.
I'm going to be in the pub in 15 minutes, doing my thing on the dance floor.
With the majority of her luxury Norwich hotels stuck in building site limbo, Lana is delighted that at least one part of St Giles House is open and buzzing.
How's it going?
Yeah, it's fine. It's actually quite smooth today. I think we're sort of finally getting the reason. It's fantastic, it's fun, and it's buzzy, and you kind of get addicted to it.
Thank you very much. I will pass it on to our chef. He likes to hear that.
Come on, Frankie, move!
Head chef Grimsby is running his kitchen at full tilt, but that's just the way he likes it.
What's your name? Jackson Pollock? Bit of splash painting going on.
General manager Brian is struggling with several jobs as fatigue and illness rip through his staff.
10, 11, 12 days on the trot, 84, 85, 87 hours, whatever it is. That's, it's nothing.
And we're all suffering with colds, so we're tanked up with night nurse. In fact, we're probably keeping Benelin in business.
Barmen Ryan and Tim are keeping the colds at bay, but the discontent is starting to surface.
We don't want to be pissed off because everyone really enjoys working here. Because they're doing so many hours, they're not saying thank you, they're not, or just not getting anything, are we?
Not really, no.
It seems that the first impression of a busy bistro is masking several underlying worries.
The stock control system needs to still be done. We're having problems with the credit card machine. We only have one telephone here at the moment. It's all stuff that has to be seen to. The bar's still not finished, and of course, and there's the rest of the hotel that needs to come online.
It could all desperately go downhill from here.
I think the real test will be when we go full price, the actual hard opening. And I'll tell you, the people up here in Norwich, they don't give it away for free. They're just as hard as the punchers down in London.
Thanks very much. Cheerio.
Quiet, isn't it?
Too quiet. For St Giles House, the honeymoon period ended rather prematurely. As soon as the menu stopped being half price, the punters stopped coming.
Tea white, 2 sugars.
Head chef Grimsby is grumpy again. He's only really happy when his kitchen is on the boil.
And when you've got a team of chefs all gagging at the bit to like get cooking, then just sort of bits of rot start to set in. You can't open a great restaurant without having publicity for it.
But the lack of any real presence is a problem that starts on the doorstep.
Put some lights outside, make it look like we're open, you know. People walk past, oh, what's that? Oh, that's an old building. You know, you can't see what we are. Spend a little bit of money on a nice big sign, St Giles House Hotel. Perfect.
They're obviously skin. Well, not skin, are they? You know what I mean? Not compared to me, you know, but they're skin. I don't know if the KGB are giving them a bit of a squeeze or whatever, but I think that they would have benefited in the long run by, you know, going, bang, St Giles House, come on, let's have it. Hotel rooms, bistro, deli, all that.
It will take bold and fearless leadership to turn this disaster around.
For crying out loud, we're doing less than 30 people per day. We're going to die before we even got our foot out of the front door. That bus is going to come through and the head is going to roll.
Coming up on Hell to Hotel, as the St Giles House paper mountain grows,
I just want to cry.
the bills start to bite.
And I just hope to God that the bank will honour the cheques.
Lana and Carleton launch a VIP promotion drive.
This is meeting that weakness with a real verve and excitement. Very, very impressive.
But to really sell St Giles House as a hotel will take one more vital element.
The rooms. Where are the rooms?
Well, of course we had a choice. You always have a choice. But our choice was to die or to open.
After 2 weeks of successful business, Lana's luxury Norwich bistro was in dreamland. But the end of the half-price deals brings a huge wake-up call.
When you've got a team of chefs all gagging at the bit to like get cooking, then just sort of bits of rot start to set in.
A publicity drive seems long overdue.
Put some lights outside, make it look like we're open, you know. Spend a little bit of money on a nice big sign, St Giles House Hotel. Perfect.
The roaring start of business for Lana and Carleton's Norwich Hotel has come off the rails. The diners have disappeared with the opening offers. The full-price menu has emptied the bistro.
We had extremely unpleasant week last week insofar that we were quite empty 2 or 3 days of the week. In fact, on Tuesday we had no one. And it was demoralising, absolutely demoralising.
With morale at an all-time low and plenty of time on their hands, the staff begin to play the blame game.
It's kind of slapdash. It's basically procedures and standards at the moment. We just need to figure them out because there's no structure in place. When there is going to be a stock take, whenever that is, they're going to be in for a big shock.
It seems that the chain of command is nothing but a pile of broken links.
Too many people are sort of asking questions to the wrong people, and the wrong answers are going around. Then, and it's going to the wrong people. So at the end of the day, the last people to know, myself and Brian, so we're stunned there, going, "What the fuck's everyone talking about?"
In an effort to re-establish the hierarchy, Lana calls a clear the air meeting.
Tell me it's not in my head. Does everyone else hear that, or is it just in my head? Okay, it's in my head.
When the drilling finally stops, the grilling begins.
We will not have this ever again. And honestly, if I hear or see of people crossing their direct lines of communications, it's not going to be nice, and I'm going to be absolutely brutal about it. Brian runs the building. It's his building. He's the general manager. He's responsible for every single area. Is that clear? Yeah?
Yeah.
But for the hierarchy to really work, Brian has to assume his rightful position.
What I really need to do is to be able to back off from being so hands-on in the restaurant and the bar. Yeah, I'm an expensive waiter, you know. I'm an expensive bar person. I'm an expensive maitre d'.
But Brian is also an expensive general manager if he can't toughen up. For the moment, he's playing good cop to front-of-house manager Tom's bad cop.
Tom the big baddie, and we're playing it that way and it's working. You know, Brian's saying, look, you know, I don't mind if you do this, but, you know, if you fuck up again, I'll set Tom on you. I'd rather be, have punctual service and good service than have people, you know, people to go out for a drink with.
It seems Tom's previous good friends are taking the brunt of his new professionalism. Maybe someone should take a little more notice of Ryan. His warnings about the complete lack of stock control are beginning to bite.
What is this £4,000 worth of stock here? What is it? I'm not sitting on £4,000 of stock. We shouldn't be. We're sitting on £5,000 of stock of house wine. Why the fuck are we sitting on the £4,000 of stock from Salvador?
Well,
get him to sort it out.
Once again, it should be Brian's responsibility to keep on top of the stock. He'd better watch his step.
I don't care how he does it. Get him an abacus and get him to sort it out.
With too many supplies and not enough demand, the management are discovering there's more to running a restaurant than just serving food. Lana's drastic solution to her overspend has been to promote overworked barman Ryan to the role of senior systems administrator.
how cool is this? We've got a computer system which allows us to check everything that was sold, it does all our accounts and everything for us. But unfortunately, we have to do a thing called end of day each day, and it hasn't been done. So all of our month's takings has been lost. So I've now got to go through all of our receipts by hand and figure out what's been sold. These don't even have dates on them, which is quite unfortunate.
But the charm of another new responsibility is somewhat short-lived.
I mean, I don't know, I honestly don't know what's what at the moment. I just want to cry.
Maybe he just should have kept his mouth shut. As the doors open for another day of poor business, Brian starts to identify the real problem.
There isn't any. That's how the money's gone. There isn't any. Yeah, and we need it desperately, which is why we need to get out marketing. And as I speak, a general information leaflet with all the facilities has gone to print.
As Carleton's leaflets hit the street, or at least the doorstep, the ever-vigilant Tom spots a devil in the detail.
The first flyers had to me, she spelled wrong 3 times. That word has caused a few problems. On the wine list we had it wrong as well. We didn't realise until sort of 3 weeks into service. I was like, hang on.
The flyers that we have so lovingly done at a grand cost of £147, we've got to redo, and that just goes to show how bloody tired Carleton and I are.
And then there's a bit in the middle that says, to make you life a little sweeter. Even if they spelt it right, it was to make your life a little bit sweeter. We're a restaurant, you know, we're not a miracle worker.
But the ever-resourceful Lana won't let a few typos hold her back. She's going live on local radio to tell Norwich how her bistro serves good, honest food, cooked by the finest chefs in the region.
OK, I'll put the fish fingers in the oven, as requested by the chef. And I forgot about it, so they were in the oven for an hour and a half.
Oh, what consistency were they when they came out? This rings a bell.
Now, Lana, you are sort of open. Tell me what's open here at the moment.
We are sort of open, but we still have building work. So what we have open is a wonderful, wonderful Dimitri's Bistro.
I've now been faced by this lovely dish of fish and chips, but you're a bit posh for fish fingers in here, aren't you?
You can never be posh with fish fingers. Come on, everyone loves fish fingers. It just...
Oh dear. Who forgot to tell the builders?
So tell me more about the fish fingers. The fish fingers properly done, it's the most I cannot believe that we have opened with builders still in, but as you know, of course we had a choice. You always have a choice. But our choice was to die or to open.
It's left to barman Tim to hit the nail on the head.
In Brian's words, shambolic. So I quite like that word, a new word for me. Because really, I mean, there's probably sawdust in half the drinks we were drinking.
When I was a little kid, I always dreamt of like working on a building site. I didn't think I'd be a chef on one.
Like Reservoir Dogs, isn't it? Just like Reservoir Dogs. You can be Mr. Peng.
For phase 2 of the publicity drive, Lana sends her brave boys, Tom and Oscar, onto the mean streets of Norwich.
Ladies, can I bother you with one of these? Go on, please. It's a new hotel and restaurant.
Tom's charms are used to full effect as he works the street like a pro. While Oscar could do with a few tips.
See you in a few days, sir. Hello there. Would you like one of these? Grab them. Grab them.
Good evening, madam, sir. Dimitri's Bistro.
Good evening there. Can I interest you in a new hotel, bistro, restaurants?
What sort of hotel is this then?
Well, you know, it's similar...
Where is it?
Well, it's similar to a travel lodge, but it looks better from the outside.
Is it?
Phase 3 is right up Lana's street. As the face behind St Giles House, she puts herself in front of the camera to seduce the public through the local media. She needs the attention, not just to save her restaurant, but her whole hotel. After all, Dimitri's Bistro is a very small part of her epic vision for St Giles House.
The rooms. Where are the rooms? That is the question.
Somewhere above the bistro, there are 24 bedrooms waiting to be finished. But with only a few workmen left on site, progress is painfully slow. To fund the completion of the rooms, Lana needs to draw the great and the good to her exclusive hotel. Tonight, a champagne reception is planned with gourmet treats prepared by Chef Ivan.
Okay, what we're doing tonight is there's a party for, I don't know, some people, I don't know who they are. It's not even opening, some food festival or something, I don't know what it is, to do with the, and they're having it in there. No, these are all free, yeah. It's fair. That means it's almost PR exercise. Sorry, that's just that word PR, I just felt quite weak.
As the evening gets underway and the free wine starts to flow, local MP and former Home Secretary Charles Clarke arrives to run his eye over proceedings.
It's enough time.
Yes,
Really
absolutely.
Norwich is a great European city, and some years ago it was identified we had a serious weakness in not having enough high-quality hotels. This is meeting that weakness with a real verve and excitement. Very, very impressive.
This is purely a marketing exercise to get the right people in, to give them a good time and hope that they will spread the word and that they will come back and dine at full price.
Who is he? I don't know. He's an MP or something.
I don't know. Some do upstairs, I don't know.
He's a communist, isn't he?
He's the Minister of Education or something.
I'm not sure.
That's who it was. I didn't actually know who it was.
Oh, don't feel this really bad. Stop.
He's a Conservative, I think.
He's lame. He's a Labrador. That's his party. The Labrador. Oh no, it was the other guy with the beard who's blind.
Mr. Charles Clarke. I think I was the only person in the whole country who didn't know who he was, but I do now.
MP for Norwich. Thank God for good staff.
You've got Doc Riel sourdough toast, roast beef on baby Yorkshire pudding with horseradish sauce, and Provençal tartlets.
I'm hungry.
As the fancy finger food hits the room, the atmosphere builds nicely. There's even time to toast the chef.
Cheers, Brian. Is that it?
Champagne social.
The free bubbly has certainly added a sparkle to St Giles House, and Lana seems impressed with Charles Clark's political skills.
30 seconds between the door and that door, he just kind of the information, and then he was giving it out. I was like, yeah, he's even almost as good as I am.
But Lana will find it hard to accommodate the cost of the free-flowing champagne event. And on the following evening's service, the benefits of the publicity drive are still rather hard to see around the hotel. So, in the meantime, it's back to treading water for Tom.
This evening we're not that busy at all. We've only got 10 booked, but that's what I like about the job is the rushing around, the mistakes, the fixing the mistakes, the complaining. It all takes a part in it. And at the end of the night, you can actually sit down with a nice glass of wine and feel like you've deserved it. And when you work like that, people see it as well, and they're like, "This, he knows what he's doing." Whereas people sort of standing around trying to find jobs to do, it's hard to get into the rhythm.
But Tom's attempts to appear busy are not fooling bar manager Ellen.
He knows I hate him. He probably doesn't know what he's supposed to be doing either. Well, that's how it looks to me, because I've asked him for a number of things to try and sort my bar out, but they don't seem to appear, and that's the last I hear of them until I have to bring them up again and again. So I don't mean to cause trouble, I just want things done properly. Yeah, anyway, go away. I've probably got myself into so much shit now, I'll probably get sacked next week.
Unless business picks up soon and the cash trickle quickly becomes a flow, they may all find themselves out on the street. Lana's got a huge hotel to finish and 25 staff to pay, but no contingency money.
Wages just have gone out. The account will go over its large 100,000 overdraft, which is grim. And I just hope to God that the bank will honour the cheques.
Lana had better come up with something radical if she's ever going to bring the rest of the hotel online. Coming up.
Shut up.
Lana's plans go down well with the staff.
This week I don't want anyone to have any days off.
The big makeover begins, but the strain starts to take its toll.
How the fuck am I supposed to put a wardrobe together?
Tears will flow as loyal troops are pushed beyond the call of duty. With Dimitri's restaurant now open, but hardly doing a roaring trade, Lana and Carleton hit the streets for a promotion drive.
Well, it's similar to a travel lodge, but it looks better from the outside.
But while the public continued to trickle in, money and patience were fast running out.
Why the fuck are we sitting on the £4,000 of stock from Salvador?
Lack of experience from certain parties is shining through.
The Norwich Hotel project is preparing itself for a new battle. With funds diminishing, Lana and Carleton's only solution is to forge ahead and stage a grand, full opening. But with their account breaking its £100,000 overdraft limit, St Giles House is now running on empty.
Shut up.
Lana has one last plan. If she can't afford professionals to finish her hotel, she will use the staff she's already got. And she's just announced in the press that she's opening the hotel rooms in 10 days' time.
We have quite a large task to do this week. We've got to get a number of rooms ready. We've got to do all of the finishing touches everywhere. Moving, shifting, making beds, decorating bedrooms. This week I don't want anyone to have any days off. Is that clear? If not, I will be writing resignation letters for people and sending them in the post on Saturday.
It's just organisation. It's like being told that we're all working on Saturday, on Monday. You know, it's trying to balance that nice little job that I thought I was going to have with a family that's turned out to take over everything, and it's like mixing in together. But, you know, I keep thinking, once that's open, it's going to get easier and it's going to calm down. And
the room should have been done weeks ago, and they haven't because of manpower and
stuff, you know, just the way it is. Well, it's the way it is. It's unfortunate it's the way it is, but nothing I can do about it.
I think it's just bad management. I think that Lana and Carleton don't really. They have what they want to do. They want it to be open. They want it to be ready. I mean, the rooms, you're talking 16 rooms. It took these guys 3 days to do one room. We've got to do another 15, 45 days work. We're not going to be open before Christmas, my opinion.
What do you think?
Lana leads by example, attacking the tip of the iceberg head-on.
No, I think it's okay.
But she will need more than elbow grease to get through this titanic makeover challenge. With the coffers empty, Lana gambles on a spin of her Russian roulette wheel. She invites cousin Dimitri to be the first paying guest of St Giles House, although he could end up footing the bill for more than just one room. He's a multi-millionaire who has made his fortune from double glazing the streets of Moscow. Considering he's already given Lana and Carleton over £1 million to create their hotel, cousin Dimitri will be expecting to see first-class service before he parts with any more cash. They've got 4 days and simply can't get this wrong.
So you're confident then? Are you ready? Yes and no. It's a multi-dimensional answer.
As we speak, we only have one room to go. We have carpet. We have, actually, let me rephrase it, we have some carpet.
They were expecting the bedrooms to be fitted today, which personally I would have preferred to do because the meterage sounds a lot better on my paperwork than a couple of corridors.
The carpet feature is here, but he hasn't got the carpets in the bedrooms. They're supposed to have been here in August. We're now in November, and they're still not here. That's just fucking ridiculous. Now, I'm never going to open the rooms for next week if this is happening.
As the fitters work with what they've got, Lana hits the hotline to the Egyptian manufacturers to pin down her flying carpets.
Carleton?
Dimitri is due in 3 days, but the pressing matter of the makeover is pushed down the list by preparations for the day's service and some long overdue staff training.
It is a normal open day for us, and we are doing our cocktail training. We also have carpenters downstairs finishing the last bits of the bath. The house is in complete havoc, and somehow in 20 minutes we have to go from something which is completely disorganized to a very serene and lovely and inviting atmosphere. But Brian is there working his little heart out. And
today, more cocktails, and the most important cocktail of all, the martini. Shaken or stirred, that's all to do with preference. It's not that, they're buying into a little bit of theatre.
But as the lesson drags on, the long hours of work in the bistro begin to show. The only thing keeping spirits up is the spirits themselves.
Today has been probably one of my favourite days at work ever. I've just been sitting at the bar, getting drunk. Lana's been getting drunk, flirting with me, as she constantly does. That's not her. That's all right. That's all right. She told me that she liked my tie and it matched the colour of her lipstick. The idea is to push Carleton out of the way. That's the idea. Take over, right? Proper domination, right? And no, that's not true. That's not true. Sorry, Carleton, because I think he's a very nice chap, very cool. But we all know he wears the trousers.
With only 2 days until Dimitri's visit, the building is buzzing again as the pressing matter of preparing the rooms takes precedent over the weekend. Although some people are still struggling with the effects of the cocktail training.
I'm completely hungover today. I can't focus on anything.
And in typical style, Tom's private life is continuing to mix with his work.
But I'm staying upstairs now. Yeah, I got chucked out of my house, so
I'm staying up in the room for a couple of weeks.
This is the first room that was completed, which I'm now using as my home.
I got evicted from my house for noise pollution. Yeah, it's comfortable. And it's free as well, so I can't really complain, you know.
But Tom's 5-star lifestyle is not impressing PA Marianne, who has just been made head housekeeper. Her mothering instincts should keep him in line.
He's been staying in that room and it's a mess, so I told him I think he ought to go and tidy it up. And he said he would, and then he's disappeared. So I shall go and find him.
Just give us a minute.
Show me what you started.
I've stripped the bed.
Oh, yeah. Wine glass.
Yeah, the wine glass has got to go.
And all the brandy glasses.
That's water glasses, brandy glasses.
Have you cleaned it at all since you've been here?
I pass out on the bed, I wake up in the morning with someone knocking on the door, and I go downstairs and I do a full day's work. That's my daily routine.
And at some point you can't find time to clean the sink?
No. I shall clean the sink, the place will be spotless, I promise.
To the camera?
The place will be spotless.
Across town, another of Carleton's infamous jigsaw puzzles is coming out of storage.
Now it's exciting, they're putting carpets in, and in preparation we're bringing some of the bedroom suites over to go into the bedrooms.
The exclusive Art Deco furniture has spent over a year in storage. But now the tricky job of reconstruction has arrived. Will anyone remember how to put it back together? More importantly, if the carpet fitter doesn't get a move on, the whole lot will have to turn around and go straight back into storage. Cousin Dimitri will not be impressed. To get the rest of the hotel ready in time, Carleton has called in all manner of emergency labour.
You haven't met Amy before.
Hello. I don't look very good from this angle, sorry.
Fairly shortly, I think I might be standing out on the street, and if anyone's passing and they don't look like doing anything much, I might grab them as well. My parents, I've locked in a bedroom down there, and I'm not letting them come out until they finish cleaning that one.
We always knew that Carleton would find a good job for us somewhere. Keep your nose clean, I'll find a spot for you in the business, he said.
Well, it's one way to keep an eye on your investment. Ryan has postponed his pressing work as senior systems administrator to tackle a very different sort of paperwork. With so many new faces on site, there's even more eye candy for Lana.
God, look at your lashes. They're very pretty.
Yeah, thank you.
I only employ pretty men. He's an actor, don't you know?
Currently between productions, actor Chris has recently joined the cast of St Giles House. Today, he's been given the role of carpenter, but it's not a part he's played before.
I don't even know where to start.
I think it's a wardrobe. I think that's a bedboard. That's a door, so it's got a key on it. But then there are two doors here.
I do think he's a bit young. Mind you, he walks like John Wayne, which is a mystery to me.
Back in a minute.
With all the staff upstairs, Brian's finishing his shift alone.
What I'm doing is called dusting. This dust is horrible. It's like Chernobyl in here. It's been a shit day. Tired, too many doubles. No staff.
3 floors above, Lana has discovered that Carleton has built the first wardrobe with the key still inside.
Well, nothing. Just leave it as it is. Are you going to put this together in half an hour?
Well, had you actually mentioned it to me
No,
earlier?
Carleton, last night we had this conversation.
All right, so, and where have I been today? You've been in here all day.
I have not been
You
in
did
here
not
all
say
day.
to me, hey, will you go and do that as a matter of
Last
urgency?
night, when we talked about it, I said...
You've had all these workmen, you've had Ryan, you've had...
I'm not talking about it.
Whoever and whoever and whoever. You had piles of people in here, all of whom could have dealt with it.
Miscommunication.
communication, that's what happened. I thought Carleton was doing that. He obviously thought I was doing. How the fuck am I supposed to put a wardrobe together? Well, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
Oh dear. But Lana's is not the only drama. Thespian Chris is still finding the role of handyman hard to nail.
I don't even know how to begin. I've just been handed a bag of nuts and a spanner, told to put wardrobes together. So I'm just wandering from room to room, in a complete state of confusion. And I feel like I'm just about to do my Basil Fawlty impersonation.
In true St Giles House style, Chris turns to his family for help. Enter his father, with his trusty measuring stick.
As I'm a complete incompetent with anything mechanical or practical, I've had to ask my father to turn up to show me how to put a wardrobe together.
Yeah, well, whoever's put these up, let's put the lid on before they put the back in.
It's the day of cousin Dimitri's arrival from Moscow, and Lana and Carleton have got all hands on deck. Tonight, they plan once again to ask Dimitri for more money, which means they will have to prove his first million was well spent. But Lana has left only a few hours to prepare the best room in the house for her honoured guest.
As you've seen with everything we've done in this place, it's a complete shithole until 2 hours before, and then it comes together just like that. It does every single time.
But for Lana, a phone call soon knocks her schedule into a spin.
Oh, no. OK, well, they'll have to send everything apart from sheets.
I'll do it.
Oh, no. Well, Marianne! 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 Marianne!
Long-suffering Marianne has been working night and day as both Lana's personal assistant and head housekeeper. Overworked and exhausted, she's forgotten to chase up a vital order.
Oh, Lana's not very happy with me, as I ordered all the bedclothes, but they're not going to come till Monday. I had so much to do, I didn't even think about it, to be honest. It's getting a bit much, I must admit. It had me in tears yesterday. I only signed up for a part-time job.
Even the resilient Marianne has her limit.
There we are. Right, I better go and get on. Tissue paper.
Coming up on Helter Hotel, Lana's last-minute shopping trip runs into trouble.
We've got a couple in who's purchasing some items. Is that okay to actually take it so they can actually take it away with them today? £949.
As Lana gambles everything when she welcomes Moscow to Norwich.
The money's arrived.
As St Giles House prepared to open its first rooms, the team were asked to muck in.
If not, I will be writing resignation letters for people and sending them in the post on Saturday.
But the Art Deco furniture proves a mystery to some
I think it's a wardrobe.
and a challenge for others.
This together in half an hour? How the fuck am I supposed to put a wardrobe together? Well, that's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard.
But with her Russian investor on his way, Lana must surmount many more obstacles to open her dream hotel.
Can we not pay extra for them to courier?
It's strong, actually.
Well, of course we had a choice. You always have a choice. But our choice was to die or to open.
It's the day of cousin Dimitri's arrival in Norwich, And with vital investment riding on his first impression, the team are working frantically to prepare St Giles House.
Hurry on!
But a last-minute supply problem means that Dimitri's bed will have no sheets.
We should have chased it, but they're complete bastards.
At a time like this, Lana resorts to one of her golden rules. If in doubt, go shopping. But when you haven't slept for 48 hours, shopping for bed linen must seem like a cruel joke. With not even enough cash left to pay this month's wages, they are spending money they simply don't have.
Do you tip company checks? When are these items being picked up? Because obviously in theory they...
Now.
We've got a couple in who's purchasing some items. Is that okay to actually take it so they can actually take it away with them today?